Hi everyone, welcome, very warm welcome to all of you. So first of all, 3 aspirants texted me in the comment section of the result video that they have been selected in the BARC written test. Once again, I am congratulating them, right? So now the main point is starting, the main battle is starting. In fact, written test is the first step of your job. So the second step and the main step is interview, right? So in this video, I'm going to discuss to approach, right? Especially I'm going to discuss on approach towards interview in this video, right? So if you want some important lessons which actually you want to prepare for your interview, regarding interview topics, regarding important lessons, regarding sources of interview, if you want to know them, you have to join Telegram channel, right? So because in Telegram channel I'm going to provide those all things. So if you want, please go through Telegram channel, you can get them, right? So this is the first thing. Second thing, first of all, before I start this, I just want to clear you one thing. BARC interview is a very prestigious interview, right? You take ONGC interview, you take BARC interview. These all interviews are very professional interviews and very very prestigious interviews. Whenever you are attending for the prestigious interviews, you have to be very professional, because they are professional interviews. So you also have to be very professional, right? This is the first thing. Second thing, clearing interview is not easy and is not difficult too, because so many aspirants are there who already cracked these interviews, but still so many aspirants are there who couldn't crack too. So if you want to clear this type of interviews, right, what actually, see, I'm telling you because I'm here on this platform, so that's why I'm guiding you. Okay, so for everyone it is not that easy to crack the interview. Okay, it is not that easy to crack the interview. So but if you want to crack, then definitely you can crack, but the thing what actually you need to crack this type of interview is just to maintain calmness and patience. The patience level is important. This is the first thing, right? If you can crack this type of interviews, then definitely you will settle in your life, right? So be patient first of all. Second thing, if you observe, in 2017, I think 2017 or 2018, total 300 candidates appeared for the interview. Out of 300 to 400 candidates, only 14 candidates qualified this interview. That is the level of this BARC interview. Okay, by knowing this, you can understand which type of interview it is. Very so-called experts are going to interview you. That means it is very prestigious, and you have to feel very lucky, because you already selected in the written test. You are going to face them, you are going to face those kind of people, those kind of persons. It is a very big opportunity and very wonderful opportunity to you. Whether you will qualify in this interview or not, this is the second step, but at least you can face them in your life, right? So this is a very big opportunity, very wonderful opportunity. You have to feel for that, you have to feel very happy for that, right? So this thing you have to remember first of all. So don't take interview in a very easy mode. You have to take this interview in a very serious mode only, right? Okay, next, first of all, I'm going to tell you what actually interviewers expect from you. Okay, so the first one, if you take CSR, NET, GATE, anything, I'm not degrading any exam, right? So because without conceptual knowledge you cannot crack any type of exam, but at one point some exams you can crack without having proper conceptual knowledge too. For suppose you take some concepts in chemistry. For suppose if you are appearing for CSR NET, okay, in my previous videos I have given some tricks on isomerism. If you want to appear for any CSR and GATE examination like that, because they are competitive examinations, time is less, so you can go through tricks. Even without understanding the concept, you can do some questions by knowing the tricks, right? If you want to appear for competitive exams. But if you want to appear for any interview, only if you have the conceptual knowledge, then only you can crack the interview, otherwise you cannot crack the interview. This thing you have to keep in your mind. Here, tricks and mugging or by hearting will not work. You have to keep this thing in your mind, right? So this interview, the first thing is, it is very knowledgeable. You have to have a very good knowledge, at least on 5 lessons from the chemistry. From the chemistry, you have to have at least, you have to have very good command on at least 5 lessons. Okay. Next thing, conceptual clarity. Same way, knowledge and conceptual clarity. Without conceptual clarity, it is not possible. Then what you can expect? So the first thing, when it comes to conceptual clarity, first of all, if you take Maxwell equation, for example, if you take Maxwell equation, generally what we do, we take Maxwell thermodynamic square. Okay, if you prepare for CSR net or GATE, what we do generally, we take Maxwell thermodynamic square and we remember those equations by just going through the trick of that Maxwell thermodynamic square. 99% of us generally do this. But here, if you want to face the questions on Maxwell thermodynamic square in the interview, you have to know how to derive the equation too. Because most of the times, interviewer asked to derive the equation. So this is very important. So that means you have to have a very conceptual knowledge, how to derive some important equations. So you have to focus on derivation too. You have to focus on derivation too, not just mugging the equations. Okay, this is the second point. Next one is, so first one, knowledge is completed, conceptual clarity. So in this, derivation part. Next, relevant questions to previous one and appropriating and approaching questions. Sorry. Yes. Here you have to remember, whenever you are facing interviewer first of all will start from the basic itself. Okay. So for suppose you give one answer, the next question, the immediate question, okay, which will be relevant to your previous question. That means it completely, the next question of you completely will depend on the answer you given of your previous question. You have to remember. So you have to be very clear in giving the answers. Okay. So if you don't know, say politely that, sir, I don't have any idea on this right now. Okay. So can you please give any hint so that I can try? You can ask like this to them politely. Okay. But you have to be very clear. Okay. You don't have to be hurry in giving the answers, because the next question of you will come just based on the answer you given of your previous question. This is very important thing you have to remember. Okay. So these things you have to remember. Next one, how you have to face the interview. As most of you knows already, that actually in the BARC interview they will ask to write 5 important lessons from your chemistry. Generally most of the aspirants choose chemical kinetics because we are reading this chapter from the 12th itself, right? But most of the aspirants are doing this, so you don't do. If possible, please try to avoid that chapter. But if you want, still if you feel that you have a very good knowledge on chemical kinetics, then go with that. I'm not saying you have to avoid that, but it is better to go with other chapter. If you have a good command, okay, other than chemical kinetics, then go with other chapter. Okay, it's better, because in recent days I am observing that most of the aspirants are choosing chemical kinetics. Okay, so that's why I'm suggesting you to stay away from chemical kinetics somewhat. But still, if you feel that chemical kinetics chapter is good for you, then go with that. Okay, I don't have any objection. Now, 5 lesson strategy. Here, whenever I'm talking about the 5 lesson strategy, you have to remember in these 5 lessons, you have to divide 3 and 2. What is this 3 and 2? 3 lessons, okay, you have to be very good. That is also first 3 lessons. You have to give 5 important lessons to them, okay, to ask questions. But the first 3 lessons priority should be very good of you, because interviewers will ask you most questions on the first 3 only, not last 2. I am observing so many aspirants, they are saying that interviewers are focusing, especially in BARC interview, they are focusing first 3. Whenever you are giving 5 important lessons, that means you are giving in a priority order. The first lesson you are giving the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. That is your priority order, right? So whenever the first lesson is your first priority, that means you feel that you are more comfortable with that particular lesson. So interviewer will definitely ask more questions on the first one, next second one, next third one, next fourth one, next fifth one. This is the priority order. So you have to be very good on the first 3. Next 2, it is okay. Even if you are okay with those two, it is okay, but you have to be very good on the first 3 lessons. Okay. Next, my suggestion is, don't choose all 5 lessons or 5 topics from only one branch. That means not from physical chemistry, not from organic, inorganic. You have to choose 5 lessons from different branches. That means you can choose this first 3. If you are okay, if you are very good at your physical chemistry, then you can select from the physical chemistry. You can select those 3 from the physical chemistry, and remaining 2, one is from inorganic, one is from organic. This is my personal suggestion. Okay, if you want to give your 5 chapters from only one, either it is physical chemistry or organic, inorganic, it is okay. There is no objection to me. But this is my personal suggestion to you. Okay, so if you are comfortable with organic, give first 3 from organic. If you are comfortable with inorganic, give first 3 from inorganic. Okay, but you have to follow standard books. You have to have a very good conceptual knowledge on those 3 chapters. First of all, you have to have a very good conceptual knowledge on 5 actually, but among those 5, you have to have a very good command on first 3. To get that command, that type of command, you have to follow standard books, right? I will provide you, first of all, you tell me in the comment section that which chapters you want to select for your interview. So according to that, I am going to provide you the important standard books for those particular chapters in the Telegram channel, right? So go through Telegram. So I am going to provide important standard books to prepare for those particular lessons, particular chapters. Okay, so this is the important thing. Here also, on the first 3, conceptual clarity should be at the peaks, as I already said you. Next one is, see, when it comes to looks, I'm not talking about the physical appearance. Okay, looks means you have to be very decent. Why I'm telling this? Okay, there is no controversy at all. First of all, you have to be very decent, because we are not the students here. We are facing BARC interview, right? Whenever we are facing one BARC interview, so normal dress is enough. Okay, whenever you are going for your interview, one decent look must, right? One decent look must. So just for suppose if you are the male, so light shirt, okay, and any black trouser is enough, right? So I don't want to talk about the dress and your appearance more, right? It is okay, but you have to look decent. Okay, next thing is your body language and your positivity. Positivity and body language is very important, guys. So don't neglect them. Okay, the way you look at the interviewer, the way you enter into the interview room, the way you talk to them, everything matters. Trust me, 50% of the interview, 50% of your interview will be cleared here only. They will observe everything because they are experts. They will observe everything. They will test your knowledge. I'm not talking that they don't test knowledge, they see only these things, but along with them, every interviewer will see what you are. That is the main core, that is the main thing, main secret behind the interview, because interview means they will see what you are internally. That is called interview, right? You have to be look decent. You have to stay positive. You have to be very, very calm, and you have to look very confident, right? You have to work on these things. So to increase those qualities, to increase this type of qualities, what you have to do? Simple. We are all normal human beings, okay? From the initial stage itself, we don't know how to approach, how to behave in this kind of interviews. So to increase this type of qualities in you, I will suggest you Drishti IAS YouTube channel is there. I generally follow this. So Drishti IAS interviews, if you see, Hindi interviews are there, English interviews are also there, right? English interviews are there, Hindi interviews are there. Language does not matter at all. If you want to give your interview in English, you can give in English. If you want to give your interview in Hindi, you can give in Hindi, but your introduction, try to manage in English language, right? So remaining interview, it's your wish, right? It's your wish, but Hindi interviews are there, English interviews are there. So Drishti IAS YouTube channel is there. Just to try to see those IAS aspirants interviews, okay? So if you see those IAS aspirants interviews, then you can get to know how to behave in the interviews. At the end of every interview, interviewer will tell that what to correct and what not to correct, right? So really they are very, very, very interesting interviews. If you see those interviews, then you will get to know how to behave in a particular interview, how to behave professionally in the interview, right? So my suggestion is just see Drishti IAS interviews, right? So next one is try to give your answer in a very, very professional way. If you don't know the answer, so just don't try to don't try to do like overaction like things, because we generally try to do that, okay? If you don't know the answer, most of us, right? So please don't do that. If you don't know, just ask them to give some time. Still, if you cannot give answer, leave, okay? Politely say that you don't know, okay? So next one is basic to depth knowledge is important. Drishti IAS, this is over. Next, focus on formula and graphs. For suppose if you are selecting one chapter like chemical kinetics, you have to be very, very good at your graphs and your formulas. You have to remember the formula. Along with that formulas, you have to know on what basis actually that formula came, okay? And the important graphs. So for suppose if you take zero order reaction, the graph is constant. You have to know the reason why that zero order reaction graph is constant, right? And the first order reaction, why it is straight line. Some graphs are straight lines, some graphs are like this, some graphs are parabolas. So they might ask why this graph is like this, why this graph is not like this. You have to know the reason, right? You have to know the reason. So to know this kind of, to get this kind of clarity, you have to go through the standard textbooks, okay? So 5 chapters are enough, you don't need to worry, okay? So next one is MSc project. If you would have done any project in your MSc, then you have to have a very good idea on that. Interviewer might ask on your MSc project also, and also you have to have an idea on responsibilities of your scientific officer post, right? So to know these responsibilities, you can go through their website, okay? So next one is, yes, that's all. And if you want to know lesson wise books and types of questions, please join the Telegram. By tomorrow or by day after tomorrow, I'm going to provide you the important textbooks, important sources and types of questions also. Okay, which type of questions they might ask in the interview, I'm going to discuss with you on Telegram. Okay, so that's all. So I think I have covered everything what actually you need for your interview. Okay, so still if you have any doubts, please ask me in the comment section. I will definitely try to respond, right? So that's all. Thank you so much.